Welcome to Localite, everybody. John Compton here. Thanks for joining me. In the studio with me today is Jim Entwisle, one of the owners of Salon Visio in Hood River. And we're going to learn more about Jim and his career, as well as some of the big plans that they have in store for a brand new location that they're opening in Hood River. So Jim, I know you're a busy guy right now, so we appreciate you taking time out to come on in and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, really appreciate it. Let's start with, where did it all start? How did you get involved in, when did you decide you wanted to be a stylist, and how did that come about?
That was about 24 years ago. I was a senior in high school and actually went through a vocational program where I would go to high school half the day and then vocational school the other half of the day. So it was kind of a way to hang out with friends and have a good time and kind of get out of school a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
did you plan at that time making it into like a lifelong career, or were you just kind of like, this is something I want to do and try out for a while?
At that point, it was just like, okay, let's do this and get through school. But the good news is I really enjoyed it. I loved it. And it's just followed me for all these years.
Where was your first job as a stylist?
First job as a stylist was in the Tri-Cities. And I was actually hired right out of beauty school by the school owner's daughter. And that was my first job in a little small shopping center in Richland, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it, so it was an independent, it wasn't like a chain or anything like that?
It was an independent salon.
How long were you there?
I was there for 2 years and learned a lot, got to meet a lot of really great people, a lot of influential hairstylists of the time. That family was really connected in the beauty industry, and so it was kind of like being pulled through a knothole and learning a lot super fast.
So where did you go from there?
So from there, I actually became a partner with the gal that owned the salon, and we opened a salon together.
And was that in the Tri-Cities?
It was. That was actually up by Columbia Center in Kennewick, Washington.
Okay.
So it was a new strip mall that had just opened up and wanted to kind of move to more of an up-and-coming area in the Tri-Cities. And it's right across from Costco, and a lot of shopping and
a lot of people moving around
and stuff over there. So it was just a little bit more exciting location and area, and we were able to advance from there.
So you went from the Tri-Cities. Did you come to the Dells after that, or?
No, went, signed a 5-year lease at that location. I was 21 years old, and it was
That had to be pretty
scary.
intimidating.
Yeah, because it was like $250,000, and I was just like, oh my gosh, how are we ever going to pay this money back? And you just did it and powered up. It was a great experience. I mean, again, learned a ton of stuff. Learned a lot about business, and at that point had actually put myself through college and studied business, and which would ultimately help me later on.
Yeah,
and
because you actually did kind of step out of the being a stylist and owning a salon and all of that, and sort of went into the corporate world for a while.
I did. After owning the salon in the Tri-Cities and was there for 5 years, I'd always kind of wanted to go to the city. I'd always wanted to live in Seattle. And so we moved to the Puget Sound area and lived there for about 4 years. And during that period of time, I'm like, I've got this, degree in business. I want to use that. I want to see like a different side of what was going on. At that point, a lot of people that I had went to school with were graduating, and they were sort of getting themselves established in more business professional careers. And so I thought, I'll try it out and see what it was all about. So I became the operations manager for a large office supply product company. And I did that for about 2.5 years. And
was that about like all you could take, or
that pretty much did it for me.
Really?
It just made me really thankful and appreciative of everything that I had done up until that point. And at that moment I knew. I mean,
so it solidified for you that
absolutely
you wanted to go back into doing hair.
Yep.
Did you ever have aspirations to like have employees? Because I know you've really built up your staff.
I think the plan was, when I re-entered the hairdressing field, the plan was just to be the best stylist that I could be, to surround myself with the best people I could find, and to learn as much as I could possibly learn. I didn't realize, what it would transition into, or I wasn't really looking down the road that far. I was just like, okay, if I'm coming back into it, I want to look at what I've done and where I want to go, and I want to align myself with the means to be able to do that and to be the best that it could possibly be. And so from there, it's just transitioned into kind of what it is now, sort of morphed into this great business.
So how did you end up then in the Dells? Because so you were in Seattle doing the corporate thing, decided not so much.
Yep.
And then, did you come to the Dells from there?
No. We actually, the first Salon Visio opened in Prosser, Washington.
So Salon Visio was outside the Gorge. You brought Salon Visio as a style,
as a salon
Mecca,
before, yeah.
a salon to the Gorge.
Yeah. So what happened is, living in the Puget Sound area, I met my partner, and we eventually moved to Prosser, Washington, which is a very small town in eastern Washington, kind of in the Yakima Valley.
Kind of wine country, isn't it?
Wine country, yeah. Exactly. Which, ironically, was like 30 miles away from the Tri-Cities. So, you know, when I had the business there, I had a lot of clients that came from around the surrounding areas. And so, a number of clients that were from Prosser. And it seemed like a great place to start the business. And put a lot of thought into the name. Well, you know, I wanted the vibe to be, because this was the first salon that I had done by myself. And so it's just like, okay, if I could do it however I want to do it, how do I want it to look? How do I want it to go? And so really just literally dreaming it up from the very beginning.
Well, when we come back from the break, I want to talk to you about Salon Visio being introduced to the Columbia Gorge.
Great.
So you guys will be right back with Jim Entwisle and discussing Salon Visio. Stick with us. We'll be right back.